what we did, we posters, pictures, posters, graphs, diagrams, charts, and billboards to transfer a message, right? Examples of this visual communication aids are, we have charts. I know you know charts. Charts are things like this. That is example of a chart. You may find somewhere written 30%, 70, 10, 20%, right? This is an example of a chart. Posters. Posters, I know this one you have ever encountered them everywhere. In example, in market streets, where you find like a poster being posted that so and so is going to visit a place somewhere. Example is that of the posters for politicians. So and so is fine for this. That is one of a good example of a poster. Billboards. Billboards. Mostly this one are found in towns. They are big constructions which are posted somewhere. For example, in a corner. Like we can say, it is in form of our whiteboard. It is used to advertise some products, institutions, many things, right? That is one way of visual communication aid, right? Like those billboards, they are there to submit a certain message. That is the meaning of that. I don't know if there is something again to touch on that, but that is literally what is supposed to be dot there. And by the way, you can be asked advantages of these things. Advantage of visual communication aid, right? And disadvantage. Whatever has some advantages has disadvantages. And for example, let's give some advantages of visual communication aids. One advantage is that they convey a lot of message in just in one picture. Like that is why we say a picture is a thousand word message. A picture, we can say it is a 1,001 message. Why? Because if, for example, I gather some people to come and translate a picture, those people or those individuals can translate the picture in many ways, in many words, right? If we sum those words, we can get it is like 1,000 plus words. That is why we say a picture can be translated, or a picture can convey they convey a lot of message. They convey a lot of message, right? In just one word, right? In one picture, rather, right? Another one, they can be used by illiterate individuals. What do we mean by that? Can be used by illiterate individuals. You know, in our society, there are those individuals who aren't, or who don't have the capacity to read some words. That is why we say can be used by illiterate individuals. Like if I can see a picture, I can understand it in my own words, unlike when I'm given a message to read, to come up with a message, right? We have many advantages, but those are just about the few. From there, I will give you a task to go and see the disadvantages of visual communication. Or I can just give one disadvantage, then to give you a route so that you can maneuver next, to give you a direction where to start on. One disadvantage is it is difficult to construct. Another one, it is time consuming. How? Building, for example, a billboard, it will take you a lot of time because it needs printing, it needs writing of the message, it needs materials to construct that board. Also, it requires for that one. That is what we mean by it is time consuming. It is difficult to construct, right? You cannot just come up with a person to start constructing this thing. It needs some knowledge so that you can start building a poster or a billboard. That is why we say it can be difficult to construct if you don't have that knowledge. Okay, let's go to another subtopic, which is audio visual communication. Audio-visual communication. What is that? Audio-visual communication. This is a audio combination of visual, right? They have just discussed it here, like it is the use of telecast films on the cinema, slides on a projector screen, computer, television, videos, etc. Right. Audiovisual communication. This is a communication. An example of this is videos, projectors, we have said. Projectors. etc. Right? That is one example of those are examples of audio-visual communication, where it is audio which is combined of visual communication. A good example is a TV. When you are watching a TV, you are seeing what is being talked and with combination of pictures, right? Yeah, that is what it means by that, audio-visual communication. A good example, as we have said, is a TV, projectors, and videos. That is mostly the crucial things which must be dwelt on under audio-visual communication. If you understand those things in that way, you are free to go, right? Now, having discussed those forms of communication, we have to see their importance. The importance of verbal and verbal visual audio communication. But now we are going to see the importance of audio visual audio visual and audio visual communication and audio visual communication. As we had said, audio visual and audio, it should be audio visual and audio visual, right? It should be importance of visual and audio visual communication, right? We have said visual, examples of visuals is, we have said, is charts, billboards, posters. These are the examples of visual. Audio visual examples here are videos, TVs, projectors. Computers, etc. Right? Having stated that, now what is the importance of these two? Why are they essential? Why are they essential? Why do we accept these two? Importance number one. The first one is they have ability, they have ability to record. They have ability to record information for future reference. Record information for future reference. What is the meaning of this? This means that if you record a video, for example, today, media doesn't forget, right? It means that that video of yours will be stored. sorry. That video of yours will be stored until a certain time you decide that I will erase it from your documents or file. If you doesn't, it will remain. And that is why we have said they have ability to record information for future reference. Like if you don't erase, it will remain there forever, right? Another importance number 2 is computer. They enable or they give room for research. They give room for research. How? This way. For example, if you do an investigation of a certain community, for example, if you have given a project to do a project for a certain community and you record it in a video and you store it at any website, it will remain there. And if a person is in need of that information, you will just visit the internet and do research from what you had gathered before. And that is why we can conclude and say they give room for research, because previously there was that person who recorded the video and stored it in internet. And that is why you, as the second person, you can come and do research from Google Lite. That is the meaning of that. The third is they give faster feedback. They give faster feedback. And let me explain that. They give faster feedback. How? Anything that uses electricity, it is faster. For example, computers. If you want to search the meaning of a word, if you just click, for example, the meaning of feedback on a computer, it will give you a faster feedback. That is the meaning of the word feedback. That is why we say they give faster feedback. In what essence? Due to speed in communication, such as mobile phones, right? That is the meaning of giving faster feedback. Another one, very essential point is they have improved social networking. They have improved social networking. they have improved the social networking. Yeah. In what way? This way. People from town, they can access remote areas very easily by use of phones to reach those people at the remote areas. You know, previously in centuries, I can say those centuries, the 19 and 17 PPCs, it was hard to access those areas which were too interior. But nowadays, it is easier because you are able to access those places through phone calls, through aerial video taking. You can send a drone to go and gather information at interior parts which you cannot reach. And that is why we can say they have improved the social networking. Like interaction with other people has been uplifted, right? Another importance is what we term as they have longer memorability. Longer memorability. Longer memorability. Due to use of multiple channels, which makes it suitable for teaching, learning, and advertisement. Last but not least is source of entertainment. You know, when you are using a computer, it is enjoyable, very enjoyable. And that is why even when a student is using a phone or a computer to read, it becomes very easy because you can go to some funny videos, then come back. You will be beating around that forum of video entertaining and reading. That is why we can say it is a source of entertainment for most people in our society, including you and me. Having discussed this importance, this goodness, or this essentiality of the visual and audio communication, anything which has some importance has some weakness, right? Now, we have seen this goodness. Now we want to discuss the weakness of visual and audio visual. Weakness of visual audio communication. And those visual audio communication are what we said. The visual are charts, billboards, and posters, etc. Audio visual, these examples are video, TVs, projectors, computers, etc. What are the weaknesses of this visual audio communication? What are the weaknesses of having a TV as a source of communication, having a billboard as a source of communication, having a computer as a source of communication? What are the weaknesses? Weakness number one. it has enhanced coordination of crime. Very true. How? You know, computers, they have access to information very fast. And if, for instance, there's this thing we do here of hacking. This is where it comes from, or this is what it means. Enhanced coordination of crime. Like a person can turn and start to steal from you, and that is coordination of crime. Hacking is one way we can term as coordination of crimes. Coordination of crime, we can term it as hacking, if I can say so. Another one is the cost. It has what we call initial cost. Initial cost of buying and installation is high. How? This way. Buying a computer is very costly. It is not 2 shillings. It is in terms of thousands of money, so as you can install a computer. That is why we say initial cost of buying and installing is high. That one is self-explanatory things, because you cannot go to a market and be given a TV for free. That is impossible. A projector, the same, you cannot be given for free. Posters, you cannot construct a poster empty-handed. That is impossible. Another one is, it may hinder communication process, may be hindered due to network failure, affected by network failures. For example, you cannot operate a computer without internet. That is impossible. It requires some network, e.g. Wi-Fi, to operate it. That is why we say affected by network failures. If you are lacking Wi-Fi, for example, it will fail to work. A good example is computer. Right? If you are doing research on a certain project, you are investigating a certain community or a certain occasion, you need to do thorough research, and that thorough research needs some networks so that it can work. Let's start, it won't. So that is why we can conclude and say affected by network failures. Another one is, I can say, not usable. say not usable by illiterate individuals. And by explaining that is this way. Imagine of a situation where you have a person who has no information on how to operate a computer, and you are instructing or giving authority to that person that I want you to do that statistics of a certain community in that laptop. Is it workable for that person? It isn't, because that person has no ability to know where to start from and where to head. That is why we say not usable by illiterate individuals, or we can say not. It is not sufficient for illiterate individuals. It reduces face-to-face, reduces face-to-face communication. By meaning that, it means that, for example, you are using a phone. You are hearing that the person who is talking, but you don't know who is the person. That is why we say it reduces face-to-face interaction. If I was to have a face-to-face communication in delivering a message, it could be a good way, because I can experience what we call body gestures and body language. Through that exchange, I will know this person means this and that. That is one weakness of the use of visual and audio communication. Another one is what we say as information leak. Information leak, very obvious point or very obvious thing. This means that your computer can be hacked and the third person can access your message without your knowledge. That is terming it as information leak, because you did not allow a message to be considered to another person with your knowledge. It was out of hacking. An ignorant person came to your account without your knowledge and hacked the information or the message you wanted to deliver. That is what we say information leakage. Correct. It doesn't require any more any more discussion on information leakage. We just dwell on information hacking, and that is period. Another one is lack of feedback in the use of mass media such as radio and TVs. Lack of feedback. Feedback, we can say, yeah, immediate feedback. Feedback is okay. Lack of feedback in the use of in the use of mass media such as radios and TV. Very true. By explanation, I can say that if a radio has just read news, you cannot start asking that radio that this and that I have not understood. That is what we term as lack of feedback in case of use of medias such as radio and TVs. They don't have immediate feedback. You can get immediate feedback after some periods of time, and with periods of time you will have forgotten what you wanted to give as a feedback, and that we can say is time consuming. And excuse me, and that is the points about that is all about weakness of audio and visual communication. Having no other point on the same, we can just conclude that those are the few points on weaknesses of visual and audio-visual communication. Now we want to discuss another subtopic, which is barriers affecting this audio and visual communication. Barriers affecting visual and audio-visual communication. Correct. I do like to give examples while giving any point. For example, what are the barriers of visual, audio-visual? And examples of visual are charts, billboard, and posters, right? Examples of audio-visual are video, TV, projector, and TV, etc. Now, what are the barriers of using a projector, for example? Barriers which you can encounter when using a billboard, a TV, a computer, right? That is it. And the first barrier is in case a recipient doesn't have a gadget with compatible features as the sender to be able to receive the message. The point is the recipient must have communication gadget. That means this way. If I am the sender, and I am sending a message to a receiver, who we can also term as the recipient or the recipient. If I have a phone, if this is a phone, you also must have a phone. That is when the message will be delivered successfully. Right? That is the meaning of recipient must have communication check. If I have a phone, my recipient must have a phone, so that our message can be successfully delivered. Another point is initial cost. Initial cost of buying and installation is high. Initial cost of buying and installation is high. If you have no money, you cannot install a computer, because computers are not installed by empty hands. And also computers requires some network so that it can work, and that network is Wi-Fi. I can say it like that. Another barrier is it is affected by airwaves, affected by network, affected by network and airwaves. If, for example, network and airwaves fail to work, you will not pass your message successfully. You will suffer from message insufficient, and we can say your message has not fully transmitted. And that is why we say one barrier is affected by network or friend. If you don't have a satellite or booster around you, it may fail to work sufficient. Another barrier is efficient. It is efficient. It is efficient. It is efficient to iterate personnel. This means that it is only applicable to those people who have some information on how to work on computers, projectors, and videos. If you have less information on the same, it is difficult for you to operate a computer. That is why we say one barrier is efficient to illiterate personnel only. You can just add illiterate personnel only you can operate it only when you are well educated or self-sufficient with certain information. That is when you we can say you are in position to do computer operation. Another one is breakdown of gadget. In case of breakdown of gadget, you cannot transmit your message. Breakdown of gadget. Very true. For instance, when your phone has been broken, you cannot pass information. Is that true? That is very true. Imagine of a situation, you are owning a phone which is not working effectively. It is not working effectively, and your recipient has a phone which is working effectively. Will you pass the information? Definitely no, because your gadget is not well sufficient, I can say, but that of your recipient is well sufficient. Meaning, he can access information easily, and you cannot send that message or convey that message effectively, vice versa. If you have a good gadget which is transmitting information or message effectively, and your recipient is suffering from gadget insufficient, it means there won't be a good message convey. Good. Another one is language barrier. Language barrier. Affected by language barrier. The meaning of this is simple. The meaning of this is most computers, I have never encountered a computer which is written in African vernacular. No one. If they are planning to do it soon, it will be okay. It will be something we will be proud of. And that is why we say most computers or most computers are affected by language barrier. They cannot be used by illiterate personnel because they don't understand the language which is being used there, or the language which is applied there. And last point but not least is lack of electricity power. Lack of electricity power may hinder it from working. Lack of electricity power may hinder it from working. Effectively. If you are racking a computer, if you are racking if you are racking electricity, you cannot access computer data. Why? Because a computer, it is operational areas. First one is electricity, another one is access to enough data or network. That is why we can say if we lack electricity, you cannot operate any of the videos, any of TV, any of projector and of computer. And that is the information we should be in position to understand. Or those are the just a few points we have discussed on barriers affecting visual and audio audio-visual communication. If you explain those points in a good language which people can understand, definitely you will get your answers correctly. You will not be limited to merit takes. You will score nicer and you will pass and go. Now, these barriers, after we have discussed these barriers, you can see the recipient must have communication gadget. That one gives us another subtopic which we will discuss, that will go like ways to overcome barriers affecting visual, audio-visual communication. Right? How can we overcome these barriers? There is a way, and these ways are as follows. Ways to overcome or to avoid overcoming this correct barriers to visual and audio-visual communication. How can we overcome those barriers affecting visual, audio communication? Those barriers affecting functionality of a computer, functionality of a radio, functionality of a billboard, functionality of projector, etc. Right? The first way is by an organization and managers ensuring radios and visual and audio visual channels are always working properly. By ensuring channels are working properly. If you ensure that your channel is working properly, you will not suffer from message insufficient. Why? Because your message is being transmitted successfully. Another one is by ensuring electricity and power are not okay, we can say batteries. We have electricity and battery backups, right? Let's say battery backups, battery backups, battery backups in case of non-electricity. We said that the barriers which affect this audio visual communication is electricity. And how can you avoid that? By ensuring battery backups in case of no electricity, or in case electricity has gone off. Another way is your choice of media should be dictated by literacy level. We can say training the society on how to use this gadget. That one will enable us to have message being transmitted successfully, because what I'm delivering, other people are in position to know what it means. That is why we say train the society on how to use these gadgets. These computers which I'm offering to the society, there should be another person who has taken a position of training these people, these individuals, on how to use these gadgets. Okay. Another one, use of variety languages. Use of variety languages. On message delivery. How? This way. For example, not all people from our society who understand the official language, that is English and Swahili. So it is a ply for a government, I can say, or any person in authority to use variety of languages on passing information, so that those who have not learned, or those who cannot understand that particular language which is being used to transmit message, can understand also, or can have the meaning of the thing or the message which is being transmitted. Another one is ensuring that network and wavelength reception are adequate. Ensure there is adequate network and airwave receptions. Very true. If we have rest of waves, rest of network, we will not transmit our language successfully. So it is our plight to ensure that we have adequate network and airway friend or airway friend in network reception. Less than that, your message as a sender couldn't be successfully delivered to the intended personnel. We have many points on the same. You can visit them and start reviewing them so that you can understand them in a proper way. If only we have not catch or discuss them in this particular context of ours, because I know we have many points on the same. For now, I can just say I will stop on that discussion so that we can move for another topic. Having discussed those forms of communication, that is verbal, visual, and audiovisual, now I beg to move to another topic, which is channels of communication. Channels of communication. That is topic 5. Topic 5. Channels of communication. Channels of communication. Channels of communication. What do you understand by the word channel first? What do you understand by the word communication? Before we had discussed what is communication. Communication is passing information from the sender to recipient so that you can pass intended information, right? What is a channel? Channel. A channel, we can say, this is the medium through which message is passed from the receiver, not from the receiver, but from the sender to the recipient. The key word is this word, the medium. You can be also asked what is the other name of channel. The synonym for channel is medium. Now, this channel which transmit message what is its functionality? The functionality behind the channel is to make a message being transferred successfully. That is the only functionality we have for the channel. Before that, we want to see the process of communication. let us discuss the process of communication. Process of communication. Very crucial on this process of communication. A process, when we say a process, this is like a procedure, right? The first one must start, the second one until the last one. And from there, we can start from the sender. The sender. Who is the so. We can call him the source of the message. Then we go to encoding, which we say composing. Encoding means composing, right? Composing message. Then we go to channel now. Channel. In this channel, this is where we have the message. This one can be stroked with video. This is where we have the message. Then we have what? The coding. What is making sense out of the message, right? From the receiver. Is it from the receiver or what?
Receiver, then decoding.
Then the last thing we have is receiver. This is the process of communication, where after all, what we need is the feedback. This is the feedback. And that the feedback is from who? From the receiver. It's a feed. It's a feed this way. Feedback can be feedback. Can be feedback or noise, right? Say noise. You can just say noise. Right. This is the process of communication. This channel. This process, I said it because I wanted to bring up or to elaborate on the channel. That is why I came up with the process of communication. Having done that one, now let's discuss joys of the medium. Factors. Okay, we can say factors to consider on choice. Factors to consider on choice of communication media. Communication media, or what we term as channel. Correct. The first one is the type of the audience, the type of audience, the type of audience, the type of audience you want to reach. Very essential. If you want to choose a channel, you must first consider the type of audience you want to reach. For example, you cannot use a computer to pass information to people who aren't learned. Right? You can only employ what we call billboards charts, which it is simpler for them to interpret. That is the definition. That is simply the definition of that. Like, you must consider those people who are you intending to deliver this message to. You cannot start using a phone to a deaf person, those people who are ear impaired. Yes, you can talk, but them it is difficult to respond to that phone. So it is wiser for you to first visit or know who are your audience. The second one is the speed. You should choose a channel which is more accurate and has a speed. You should not use a channel which is very slow until, for example, for instance, you are delivering a message to a certain person who needs it very urgent. For example, that person needs to travel to abroad and he needs that message. He needs it. Anataka hiyo message haraka, right? You cannot use a slow gadget. You must employ a gadget which is faster, so that he can reach it or can get it at a good time. Another one is confidentiality. You should employ a channel which is secrecy. Here it is all about secrecy. How secure is this channel? Can it leak a message you are intending to convey? In terms of confidential, how is that channel of yours? Is it good? Can it leak message? Yes or no? That one is upon you to know. Yes, if it is leaking message, let me go with it. If it is not, let me go with it, right? Correct. Another one, accuracy, need for accuracy. For accuracy. This means that you should not employ a channel or a medium which is not accurate. For instance, you are delivering, for example, this statement, the medium through which message is passed. You employ a channel which leaves out some information. For example, that channel of yours leaves some words like medium, from, and the recipient, and then it delivers the through message is passed the sender to. Is that making sense? Is it? So you should use a channel which is more accurate so that you cannot misinterpret, or so that you cannot misinterpret the message. Another one is the cost of the medium. Cost of the medium. You should not go, I'm not advising you, but I'm saying this. You should not go for a medium which are too expensive in a way that if you purchase them, you will go bankrupt. So you should go to a medium which is relatively affordable, so that you buy with certain amount of money, then you remain with another amount of money. So it is upon you to know which medium are you going for. Is it expensive one or relatively cheaper one? But also cheaper is expensive. Another way is availability of that channel. Availability of the channel. That means that you should not go for a channel which sometimes it is working, sometimes isn't. You should go for a channel which is more available when you are in need of it. In that, whenever messages are needed, you can go for it because it is available. Note that when you read it, it is not working. That one will cause you some quagmires. Hence, you will lack the message at the intended time. Another point is feedback capacity. Feedback capacity of this medium. How is it, or how ready is this channel of yours? How ready is it? How ready is it to give feedback? Is it ready, or it is slow in giving feedback? Because in any circumstance, you will always require a channel which has a higher or a accurate, a faster feedback. That is when we say you are self-sufficient in message feedback. Another one is intensity and complexity of the message is factor major. Intensity and complexity. Okay, that means that there are some channels which cannot transmit emotional contents. Like if you feed it, it can respond with a no. That is simply what it means. I think for today, let me talk about the last point, then we went on that for today work, so that we can catch up with the next time, because I know God willing next time it is there. The last point but not least, availability of hard copies for record. Very true. Availability of hard copies for record. Even in business transaction, we have soft copy and hard copy. Also, this one duplicates here that whenever you are using this channel, you should have a backup, that is hard copies, where you will store your message so that it cannot be forgotten or cannot be erased in case it is erased. So for today, having discussed those forms and the channel of communication, I concur to stop there. Let's meet next time.
Chuo cha anuai cha Kisii Impact Institute of Science and Technology kilicho mjini Kisii wana courses mbalimbali katika taaluma ya kuwawezesha vijana. Wanapeana courses kama hairdressing and beauty therapy, plumbing, electrical installation, miongoni mwa zinginezo. Katika sehemu ya biashara wana courses kama secretarial studies, business management na nyinginezo. Katika masuala ya kompyuta wana courses kama ICT, computer packages, web design na nyinginezo. Pia katika taaluma ya wanahabari wana courses kama mass media, digital TV na radio journalism. Wanafunzi wanatainiwa na Kenya National Examination Council, NITA, ICM na Industrial Qualification IQ. Watembelee mjini Kisii katika jengo la Twin Towers ghorofa ya kwanza, au wapigie simu kwa nambari 0705 773142 au 0784663693. Unaweza wapata pia katika mitandao ya kijamii Facebook, Kisii Impact Institute of Science and Technology. Ni chuo ambacho kinakudhamini.